LeBron James has made a lot of NBA players fear him throughout his career, and some NBA players' careers were ruined by him. But this is what made LeBron James one of the greatest to ever do it. Welcome to Sports Only. Today, we compiled a bunch of insane stories from NBA players and legends basically confessing that LeBron James is a god. But before we get into the video, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Now, let's get straight into the video. Scottie Pippen will always be remembered as one of the best players to have played the game. Together with Michael Jordan, they established a dynasty with the Chicago Bulls. And while he will always pick his former teammate over LeBron in the GOAT debate, which is understandable, Pippen has not shied away from admitting how good LeBron really is. In an appearance on ESPN's The Jump, Pippen admitted that while he won't call LeBron the best ever, statistically, he is definitely one of the greatest players ever.
I won't say he's the best, but statistically, he's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
In yet another interview on ESPN's First Take, Pippen was asked how close he thought LeBron was to catching Michael Jordan. And in an objective take from Pippen, he admitted that LeBron was right up there with MJ. He also cited LeBron's statistics of his assists and rebounds as proof to support the reason he had to be considered in the conversation with Michael Jordan. He did, however, say that LeBron couldn't catch Jordan in the MVP race. And with LeBron only winning one regular season MVP so far, compared to Jordan's 5, you might have to agree with Pippen on that one, as LeBron is quickly running out of time to catch Jordan there.
He probably will never catch him in terms of MVP.
Okay.
But in terms of statistics, LeBron is right there. And when you look across the board, not just scoring, check his assists, check his rebounds, he's probably ahead of Jordan.
Say what you will about Isaiah Thomas, the man is a Hall of Famer, a two-time NBA champion, and arguably one of the greatest point guards to have ever played the game. He was that good. But yeah, his long-standing beef with Michael Jordan might color his opinion on who he thinks is the better of the two players, but it is his opinion regardless. And here's what he said about LeBron James when he was asked about him. When you talk about just a basketball player, a complete basketball player, LeBron James is a much better basketball player than Michael Jordan.
When you talk about just a basketball player, a complete basketball player, LeBron James is a much better basketball player than Michael Jordan.
Okay, there might be some underlying beef in that statement, but we get it. He chooses LeBron over MJ. We know that the GOAT debate is hotly contested, but saying LeBron is a much better player than Michael Jordan, that's a bit of a stretch. If that were the case, there would be no GOAT debates. Moving on, a lot has been said about LeBron's basketball IQ, and even some who are on the side of Michael Jordan in the GOAT debate have even given LeBron the W when it comes to playing intelligence.
Arms out to James with a new shot clock. Oh, great no-look to Zizic, who puts it home.
How about that? Everybody, even myself included, thought that ball was going to Kyle Korver right there for an easy 3.
Look left, pass right.
Oh,
come on now.
Hey, he's at the park right now. He's out there playing around, DB.
The thing about LeBron is that for a guy that big and that strong, he is one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive playmaking abilities we have ever seen in the game. Other guys with LeBron's strength will choose to just dominate at the basket and not bother to create chances for their teammates. But LeBron can do both. And not only that, he knows when to do either of them. The man is just a genius at reading the game and making the right play. It's no surprise that he is well ahead of Jordan when it comes to all-time assists.
Hand of LeBron, who picked up the loose ball behind the back, just like they threw it up.
You gotta butter the jelly. You gotta have eyes in the back of your head or a great memory to make a pass like that. LeBron James to Wade for the lay-in.
No one captures how mentally immersed LeBron James can be in a game as well as DeMar DeRozan did in this interview. While discussing how difficult it was to face LeBron James in the playoffs during his time with the Toronto Raptors, DeRozan said that people simply do not realize how difficult it is to go up against LeBron and beat him in a 7-game playoff series.
Throws it. Now you'll take that. You'll take that. You want to stay as tight as you can without giving up the drive and getting.
Speaking about the Eastern Conference Finals in 2016, when the Raptors came up against LeBron's Cavaliers and won games 3 and 4 of the series, DeRozan recollected an incident that happened during the playoff series. In Game 5 of the series, one of DeRozan's teammates forgot one of the plays that were called. And guess what LeBron did? He looked over at the player and explained to him the exact play that his team had just called. Now that's just crazy. But it only goes to show how incredibly intelligent LeBron James is on the court.
That means Biyombo's guarding Shumpert, James guarding Biyombo at this end.
DeRozan blocked by James.
And when our teammates forgot the play and Bron told him the play. Like, it was some crazy shit. It was some crazy stuff. We called it a play. He was like, what? And Bron told him what our play was.
Kyle Lowry is another Raptor that knows firsthand how it feels to be decimated by the brilliance of LeBron James. In an interview with the Raptors legend, Lowry had this to say about LeBron. He's a guy who will be a Hall of Famer and a top 3 player of all time. It makes you want to figure out how to beat him because you want to say I knocked him off his throne.
He's a guy who will be a Hall of Famer, top 3 NBA of all time players. It makes you want to figure out how to beat him because you want to be able to say, look, I knocked him off his throne.
It's no secret that every team that aspires to win the NBA Finals always has it at the back of their minds that at some point they will have to deal with LeBron James. From 2011 to 2018, LeBron appeared in 8 straight NBA Finals. And even though he lost 5 of those finals, it is still an incredible feat for anyone to achieve, and it only reinforces the idea that in order to win the NBA Finals, you almost have to go through LeBron.
Overtime.
Although the Golden State Warriors were a force to be reckoned with the likes of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, the franchise still went out to sign Kevin Durant after they blew a 3-1 lead against LeBron James's Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016. Kevin Durant was signed to be the man who tipped the balance in the Warriors' favor whenever they came against LeBron. And they did come up against LeBron James in 2017 and 2018. Both times, Kevin Durant went home with the NBA Finals MVP award and the NBA title. But Durant was under no illusions on just how great LeBron was, even during what turned out to be a 2018 Finals sweep against the Cavs. At a press conference during the 2018 NBA Finals, Durant had this to say about LeBron. Same way I looked at Kobe and Tim Duncan and those guys who are at that elite level, who's experienced more, who you just want to try and learn and watch from afar. I think LeBron has been a good model when it comes to that. But just being able to play against somebody at the highest stage, at the highest level, just brings out the best in both of us. It just makes the games better.
Same way I looked at Kobe and Tim Duncan and those guys just who are at the elite level, who've experienced more, you just try to learn from by just watching from afar. I think LeBron's been a good model when it comes to that. But just being able to play against somebody at the highest stage, highest level, just brings out the best in both of us. It just makes the games better.
Paul Pierce is another player that knows all too well about playing against LeBron James, especially during his time with the Boston Celtics. And when you have to face someone like LeBron constantly in the playoffs, you can't help but admire his greatness. So when LeBron put the Toronto Raptors to the sword in a playoff series, Pierce could not hold back in his adulation for King James. Pierce said, "Just LeBron's greatness can't be overshadowed. Right now, we should all really appreciate what he's doing and what he has done. You know, you can't put nothing past greatness. When greatness is in your way, it has a way of reaching another level, and even though I don't think LeBron has the help, he's good enough."
When greatness is in your way, it has a way of reaching another level. And even though I don't think LeBron has the help, he's good enough.
Kyrie and LeBron played together with the Cavs in 2016 when they pulled off an incredible upset to reverse a 3-1 deficit at the NBA Finals against the Golden State Warriors and claimed a 4-3 victory with Irving delivering the title-clinching shot. The two superstars may have parted ways in controversial circumstances, but still, there's no doubt Kyrie knows just exactly how much LeBron brings to any team he plays with. In an interview on a sports show, when asked if LeBron James should be awarded the MVP every year, Kyrie admitted that no one in the league puts in as much work for their team as LeBron does for his team. Kyrie also said that LeBron was truly a star in his own lane and could not be compared to anyone else in the league.
We're talking strictly based off stats. Like, he checks every
It's him
mark,
every
like,
year, though, in that regard, right? Does anyone do more for one team than LeBron does? It's tough.
It's tough, right?
It's tough. I mean, but it's boring to give it to him every season. Like,
he's
that's
incredible. I would say that he's on his own lane, man.
Love him or hate him, LeBron's greatness simply cannot be denied. It is a story that is still yet to be concluded. At 36, the King is still ruling the NBA like his own court. For many years to come, there will be many more commentaries from superstars of the game highlighting just how great LeBron James really is.
LeBron drives in. Oh, my! A ferocious slam on Millsap. Did you see LeBron? He jumped right out of the building. He looked like Superman.